Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
This is your weekly sports fix with Stix.
What's happening, everybody? Now it's Big Homie. Can you hear me?
All day. Let's go.
All right, Rudy. What's happening, big man?
Hey, what's up, man? It's been a while. I haven't talked to you.
Yeah, you've been in the office working those 7 jobs, man.
That's right. That's right.
Keeping it live.
Hey, we're just gonna roll through, some stuff we've talked about over the past 99 episodes. Nothing too exciting. Just want to get everybody fired up for what's yet to come and what we've talked about before. I guess I should reiterate that. It's pretty damn exciting, actually, to be honest, with all that stuff that we have talked about. But like I said, it's episode 100, baby. Thank you all for listening. We appreciate it. Nas Big Homie, Rudy, Aaron Jones, Aaron LaSuel, my nephew Braden, Trent, Mark Sudich, Trent Henderson, Mark Sudich, UFC guru, and Zach Carpenter, all those guys who have all been on the show before. Appreciate you guys coming on. Man, we've talked about a lot of stuff. But before we get started, shout out to the producer, Chris Donovan, for making all this happen.
All day.
And make sure, you guys go to thisisfunner.com. Scroll down to the bottom, hit that Stix shop. And in honor of the 100th episode, we're giving everybody 15% off. So use Stix15 at checkout. So STIX15, 15% off. We got some new fire gear up in there, huh? Honest Big Homie.
Man, yo, I ain't got something else besides a white base shirt and sweatshirt. I'm already on it.
Yeah,
waiting for my good shipment to pop off now.
Absolutely. A couple new things, bunch of new colors, man. That's pretty sweet. There's a, blue, red, grays, man. It's pink. It's fire, dude. Some fire stuff for sure. So don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the show as always. And make sure you go to thisisfunner.com for more podcasts and online content as well. Follow me on Twitter at Stix015. Follow Anonymous Big Homie on Twitter at homie_anonymous. Right, homie?
That's the one, man. That'll get it done.
And then Rudy, I forgot to write down your new Twitter. What was it?
New? Uh-oh.
Yeah, I changed it. It's Ryan R. Lesko now. Let's make it a little bit easier.
Lesko. At Ryan R. Lesko. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we appreciate everybody listening. Thanks a lot. I just wanted to, go over a few. I went to look through what we've been talking about over the last, 99 episodes, homie, Anas Big Homie. Bro, we've hit just about everything you could think of, guys. Rudy and Aaron have been on for, a lot of the football ones during the season.
Yeah.
Shit, we've had best bets for you all, best wagers, a little bit of gambling knowledge from us connoisseurs that we are. The hometown play of the day or play of the week. Can't forget about those.
It was going down. Yeah, it was going down. The pressure was on everybody for getting that done, man. But think about all of the good, slanderous, crazy jokes that were going on around this time last year. Now, those are the ones you need to go back and check back in on, because I went back and listened to some of them, and I'm telling you, it's like it's right now, except for we weren't like smack in the middle of, pandemic situations that we did not know about. Now we know about them. Now we're trying to get out of them. So you just switch the narrative a little bit, and a lot of them jokes and a lot of that life stuff that we was dealing with at that point in time, man, it's still relevant at this moment. You can't forget about the Altuve appearances. The Altuve impression appearances.
The comedy and the shenanigans, baby.
Man, it was going down. I mean, the lost episodes. Well, I mean, you can't go back and listen to those, but the talk about it after the fact was hype. So, yeah, man, it's a lot of good stuff. Last Dance stuff, man. Commentary on Last Dance. I mean, oh man, the WWE references as it related to the XFL.
That's right.
The hillbilly gym.
The 3-4 weeks we had of the XFL that I was all fired up about, ready to give you guys a piece.
Right. When I swore that Hillbilly Jim and Big John Studd were the tight ends for the Rough Riders or Roughnecks or whatever. Yeah, it was going down, man. A lot of comedy, a lot of good fun, man. So, if you're enjoying what's going on now, go back and listen to the Genesis, chapter 1 of this thing, man. And we were a lot more loose with the lips back then, which made for a lot of good fun. I'm pretty sure it's probably entertaining to listen to now too.
Yeah, that was right before we had the pre-COVID, because XFL got shut down by COVID. Mm-hmm. But we were just getting fired up. We had a little bit more of a schedule that we could keep back in those days. And then after the COVID hit, we had all the time on our hands to research and get all these we did the MLB all-time draft. You and I did, and now it's big homie.
Yeah.
With our favorite athletes, which kind of, that took a while, but we had some good numbers for y'all, some stats for y'all. We picked a whole lineup with some pitchers. King Griffey Jr., Ricky Henderson, Willie Mays, Babe Ruth, Nolan Ryan. We had Nolan Ryan on there, Rudy. I know we talked about that when we did the brackets for our GOATs, and during college basketball season, we were doing our bracket kickoff. Mm-hmm. Greg Maddox was on there too. Man, we had all sorts. We had the whole lineups jacked up lineups for each of us. Was pretty sweet. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. I mean, you think about even we talked about it last week pre-draft, but we talked about our draft coverage from last year and the shenanigans that we saw there too, that clearly did not happen this year. It was just, hey, number 1 pick, Jacksonville Jaguars select. It was cookie cutter as possible this year. But, the level of jokes and stuff that went on last year, the remix of the Packers as the world turns story brings its head back up from last year to this year and still going on. We didn't know what's going on with my boy Rodgers, man. And yeah, man, it was a lot of good stuff, man. Gronk coming back, the announcement of the Kraken. It was a lot, man.
Yeah, we have the Kraken is something we're going to look forward to this year for sure. In October, draft in July. Speaking of, I want to, we can go over a lot of stuff, but yeah. Aaron Rodgers, man, do you guys have any thoughts of? It doesn't sound like he's going back to Green Bay, fellas. Doesn't sound like he's going back to Green Bay, to be honest. And he doesn't sound like he wants to. I think Aaron Jones, if he was on here, would be all about him going to his Broncos, and I think that's a good play. So that's my thoughts. I think he's on his way out.
I mean, it doesn't look good. I mean, Brett Favre today said I talked to him, and he holds a serious grudge, and if anybody knows that he holds a serious grudge, it's him. Okay, so that's definitely firsthand information. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't see that the Packers. What if I am, the GM of the Packers? What am I looking to get for the current MVP? I'm losing. Do I keep him and just have a disgruntled individual who is that's not down with what we have going on, or what? Because there's not a party or a group of individuals that you could bring in that's going to satisfy your fan base if you are offloading Aaron Rodgers. It's just not a thing.
What you got, Rudy? I know you got something to say about A-Rod.
I mean, but first of all, I don't blame Aaron Rodgers at all, right? Just based upon the fact that, like, this team drafted his replacement or a potential replacement for him early in the draft last year. They had to draft up to get him. I mean, they were specifically going after Jordan Love to replace Aaron Rodgers or would. If you're Aaron Rodgers and you feel like you've got several strong years on your contract or, in your body left to be able to play, and you see them drafting your replacement so soon, I can see how that's going to make everybody mad or make him mad. At the same time, that was it, a first-round pick that they drafted him in? So what other athlete could they have picked? I mean, look how far they made it last year, right? NFC Championship game. Was that pick the one plus the up trade, right? Like the pick that they could have had and traded up for? Like, what two athletes could they have gotten on their team that may have been the two athletes that put them over the top? They were done with Aaron Rodgers when they drafted that guy. And so you can't blame them. And I'm a big supporter of players playing out their contracts, right? These guys sign these 5-6 year contracts, and after 2 or 3 years, they want out. But if you're Aaron Rodgers, it's almost like they breached his contract, right? You hear about the breach of contract from players all the time. Oh, he went skydiving or he was riding dirt bikes or whatever. That's breach of contract.
Homie just tore his Achilles in Denver, and not at the training facility, and and the Broncos aren't going to pay him. And a lot of athletes are fired up about that right now as well.
Right.
But you're right, 100%.
So this is the flip side of that, where like this team, I mean, it's horrible in my opinion. It's horrible team management. I was talking to somebody not very long ago, and everybody that's listened to me before knows I'm a Browns fan and knows that my team hasn't been able to come up with a quarterback for years and years and years, and now we finally do. And so I look at these teams like, the Packers and the Falcons and, these teams that through the years have had these quarterbacks that have lasted years and years. And I think to myself, is it for a team to be down for a couple of years after a Hall of Fame quarterback retires? So we'll use the Packers. If the Packers threw all their chips in with Aaron Rodgers and did everything that they could, draft picks, the whole bit, trades, you name it, free agency, all that stuff, to be able to put together a team that can win Aaron Rodgers a championship, when he retires, the next couple of seasons, if they haven't replaced him yet, is it okay if that team isn't as good because they can't find a new quarterback? Is it going to be okay if the Steelers are down for a couple of years after replacing Ben Roethlisberger? Personally, I think it's okay. Yep. I think if you have a Hall of Fame quarterback on your team and you're competing for a championship year in, year out, win it or not, when you're going to the NFC Championship, you're going to the Super Bowl, whether you win or lose, and that quarterback finally, his body gives out, he finally has enough and he's done. If it takes you a couple of years to find his replacement, I'm good with that. I'm good with your team being down, with my team being down for a couple of years. I do not think that you have to find your Hall of Fame quarterback's replacement while he's still playing. And I think that's the biggest mistake that Green Bay made in drafting Jordan Love and basically like wasting, if you will, those picks when they have a very durable. Rodgers has been healthy for the most part. I mean, there's nothing to stop him from going for Tom Brady's age records. So right. I don't blame the guy. I've rambled a little bit, but that's my statement. That's my take on that.
I mean, think about this. So even this year, after doing that, knowing that he is hotter than fish grease right now about the organization's stance on building around him. They appease him with a third round, number 85 wide receiver and a seventh round, 256 pick running back. That's what you're going to go get in a situation when Aaron Rodgers is telling you he's hot right now. Now, granted, their offense has got a lot of parts in it, but I mean, you got to show the man that this is the honeypot. This is where you should want to be at. And I don't think that they're doing that. So, a situation like this, I mean, they might as well to be honest with you, they might as well just bust the Aaron Rodgers and the Russell Wilson swap real quick and call it even.
Right? I mean,
I think that
no, go ahead.
In ways the Packers are kind of saying that they're done. I mean, no one wants to tip their hand, and I'm sure that the Packers, if they do trade Aaron Rodgers to the Broncos or for anywhere else that they trade him to, they're going to want something in return, whether it be amazing draft picks or a pretty serviceable quarterback until they can figure out what they're going to do. But I think that, right, we all knew before the draft how upset and how unhappy Aaron Rodgers was. We know that, probably the only player that people really ask his opinion on who we should draft is LeBron James. But they could have called Aaron Rodgers and said, hey, right now, we got this pick coming up. What can we do that would make you stay? Drafting a cornerback in the first round is probably not what it was going to be, right?
Right.
So by the fact that they're doing that, and not that they don't need to beef up their defense a little bit, but, at the same time, by doing that, I think, in my opinion, they were basically saying, we're done. And now it looks to me like they're going to be waiting for that opportunity, for that right package in a trade. And I think that he's not going to hold out. I think they're going to trade. They're going to get somebody for him.
I think, again, in this,
for doing that, for trading off your players, but making sure you get something in return. And I think that's what you're going to see. I think the handwriting's on the wall.
I think as this is another one of those Russell Wilson situations, as well as if they trade him before June 1st, it's like a certain amount of cap hit. And I want to say it's like $26 million. It's not as high as Russell's is. And then when they get to June 1st, it's like a little bit less, but then it's also next year's cap, which none of these teams care about the following year's cap, because after this year, it went down this year, obviously, but next year it's going to go up. And every year after, pardon another fucking pandemic bullshit, we'll have, the cap's just going to keep going up. So all that money's going to keep getting allocated. Or they'll just come up with some voided contracts like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or whatever that aren't even real contracts, or however they're doing that shit nowadays. But it's kind of like that Russell Wilson thing, like I said, is because, you got so much going on, but there's no way. And this is the stuff that everybody listens is going to be able to. This is what we bring you every week on a daily basis when we have time to get into this stuff. We give you the insight as well. So you have a lot to look forward to coming in the future of what we talked about. We kind of went on to what we're talking about now. This is exactly what we do. We just get into it, right? But there's, in the last however many years, Rodgers has been there, 16, 17 years? They haven't drafted an offensive part of a offensive weapon for him in the first round. And the first round pick that they selected last year was the Jordan Love. A replacement. You didn't go get him another receiver or another running back. You got Aaron Jones, obviously. Not our Aaron Jones, the Aaron Jones there in Green Bay. But, how many wide receivers has he ran through that he could have got, someone in the first round or even the second round to help him out? It sounds like he's so disgruntled that he's ready to move on anyways. So if you don't want to work for somebody, then go. Right.
That's what it's going to have to be, because nowadays, it's crazy how everything is flipped from the way that the Cowboys used to do everybody. And again, hold on, before I even get into it, you got to stop for a second and say, thank God for the NFL, man, because there's nothing going on anywhere else. So, I love what the NFL's done by taking over the sports landscape. But okay, so
there's always something.
Yeah. So you remember how the Cowboys used to do people? We don't like you, get out of here. Okay, and all the Jerry Jones talk of I'm not letting a player do a damn thing around here called no shots, and the McNair family doing the same thing in Houston, and a few other owners who took that same stance to now. Oh, everybody's going, well, hey, I need this and I need that. Probably off of the, the backs of what the NBA, they've seen the NBA players get away with. Now, I ain't going to say do, but I'm saying get away with, because they basically steal in the league and saying, hey, these are our initiatives. These are our, this is what we want to do from a, maybe a players association point of view. But going back a little bit, there is nothing better than living out the life of a lifer player, especially when it's your leader, the quarterback. Okay. You don't want the traveling Brett Favre circus. You don't even want the couple years in Denver for Peyton, even though one of them was, top shelf, and record breaking and this kind of thing. But it's the same thing. I'm 100% okay with Peyton leaving on the strength of when he left the Horseshoe originally, the Indianapolis Colts, and says, okay, well, we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do. We took an L with Whitehurst, and I can't even remember the other cat that we had playing quarterback, because Whitehurst didn't last. I think it might have been Brissett at the beginning. And what ends up happening? There's your segue to Andrew Luck. Okay. And now the world is happy in that situation. You have these little things. I mean, the only one that I think that's successful, that, that perfect transition probably is Joe Montana and Steve Young. But it don't happen like that. That don't happen. You know what I mean? No. So, it's definitely not going to happen. So, you stock the lineup and you keep the boy there. If all the offense was golden, and he was in the front office talking about, hey, do something about that damn defense, because I'm tired of running out here every 5 seconds back on the field and chasing people down every week, then I would say, okay, wouldn't you go chase down the defense for the man? If he's putting up 40 points a game, or it's okay, say for instance, he's on some Matt Ryan situation. Now that's a boy who's throwing up points every damn week, guaranteed. He's got everything he needs on the offensive side, except for maybe a running back. The Todd Gurley experiment is not working. But the defense is a tunnel, bro. Run right through, okay? Starting from the Super Bowl that year, 28-3, okay? From then on out, it's been a tunnel. So if you have that situation and you don't focus on the DR, Matt Ryan should be pissed off too, okay? If I'm up 21-10 in the first half or at the half, and a team chased me down because the defense is holy, you know what I'm saying? You got to do something. They're not putting on even the face. The Green Bay Packers front office is not even putting on the face like they want to have him here through the next 3 to 4 years, so he can rock that out. Especially when you've seen Drew Brees, Tom Brady. Maybe you could even throw Peyton Manning in there for whatever he gave in them last couple years. Still putting good, solid effort out there that's putting you in a position to be in the Super Bowl. All of them dudes have been, well, except for Breeze, but he get you close, except for a Minnesota Miracle.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to find out for sure. I mean, I think something needs to go down with a disgruntled Aaron Rodgers. So it's going to be interesting to keep up. And
it's like about to. We don't know what, but something.
And like I said before, I wasn't a real big Aaron Rodgers fan, but I've been listening and following him a little bit more in the last, 6 to 8 months. And seems like a real stand-up dude, smart guy. We've talked about Jeopardy last week on the show as well. So let's close it out. We got about 10, 15 minutes left. Let's talk a little baseball, fellas, because you know what? Like I said, this show was a little bit about, just what you could go back and listen to if you have a little bit of spare time. And then also what we're going to get you fired up for going forward after this, because we have a lot of stuff to talk about. Like we said, the Kraken coming. Release the Kraken, baby.
And they get to keep their name too. And they ain't getting sued for their name. It all works out.
they ain't getting sued for the name, but they almost got sued for the Kraken bar at the practice arena in Northgate. Right. But I guess they changed that up. But that's some wild stuff. We get into that sometime for sure. I'm sure we'll have to pop back into that. But
that's in the local news section.
The local, yeah, that's for sure. Some crazy bar in downtown Seattle trying to sue them for $3 million. But anyways, baseball, my Mariners still going to win the AL West, baby. 17-14 right now. Going to get this game today on Cinco de Mayo from Baltimore. I don't know why they lost the first one, but got one last night. Going to get one today. Those damn Athletics and those damn Astros just won't go away. We talked about the Angels a little bit last week, and dang, they're going to make a run. I'm scared of them. I know Rudy has some thoughts on this as well. And speaking of Rudy, he hasn't been on since the whole baseball season started, and I want to know how surprised you are with your Cleveland Indians being 15-13 and one game out of the AL Central, where we thought they were gonna. I thought they were gonna be in the dumps, bro.
Yeah,
with that high payroll,
I thought they were gonna pack it in too. To be honest with you, I mean, I thought that this was gonna be one of those down years, and again, we're 28 games in, of a very long
season.
At this point, anything can happen. So I'm not surprised. I mean, again, we go back to, we talked about the Indian strength all along was their starting pitching. So, I mean, they're going to win you some games, but we're going to wait and see when the dog days of summer come. Surprises, though, like more surprise for me than the fact that the Indians are a game back is where the Twins are. The Twins ran away with the division last year. I mean, they set the American League or Major League Baseball home run record for home runs in a season. I mean, they were like ridiculous. And, right now they sit at 11-17. That surprises me. The other big surprise so far of this year is Frankie Lindor. I mean, he's not even hitting
former
right?
Cleveland Indian. Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about him and that's really, I mean, anybody that's listening to me, knows that I'm kind of bitter when it comes to the Indians and the fact that they refuse to spend money. And I'm a guy that thinks that there should be, if not a salary cap, at least a salary floor that teams need to go out and spend some money, and they should be forced by the league to spend money. And that would keep some of their better players, the players that their fan bases are built around, like a Frankie Lindor kind of guy. Maybe for him, this is just an adjustment, trying to adjust to National League pitching as opposed to the American League pitching that he's been used to for the past 4 or 5 years of his career. But I'm shocked. I'm shocked at his poor stats. Shocked at how bad he's doing, and just
he got the money. He's got the money. It's the curse of getting the money.
Here we go.
I'm telling you. Add him to the list.
Well, no. Tell that to Mike Trout, though. I mean, it's not. But these guys. I mean, look at Mike Trout, Manny Machado, Tatis, which you guys know. I mean, I usually rave about the Padres because I just love that team. I love what they're doing out there. But I mean, I think there are some guys that have signed and gotten the money, that haven't fallen off. I think the notorious one, and not necessarily stats wise, but how about Bryce Harper? Bryce Harper leaving the Nats, and then that very next year he leaves the Nats. He has a decent year, but then the Nats turn around and win the World Series. Like that's poetic justice. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens to Frankie and the Mets and everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of getting the money, Anand's big homie, your Dodgers are 4-12 in the last 16 games. And speaking of getting the money, Mookie Betts, 237 batting average in the last 19 games, brother. So,
dude, it's interleague plays. Ever since they came up here, man, it's been all bad. Okay. Ever since we was up here, it's literally been all bad. We had 4 losses, and then now look. Okay. So it's. I think we've gone 3-10. What did you kick it down? Like
4-12.
Okay, there we go. It's something crazy, and I just don't like what's going on. How you lose a doubleheader to the Cubs? Okay, and they run Kershaw out of there. So I don't know. It's all bad. We got the boy Walker Ferris Bueller going today to try to at least get us a game out of this series with the Cubs. But again, like we said last week, and we just said a second ago, last week we said it's only April. Okay, even though we got a lot to say, that's what it's all about, is running our mouths. We got a lot to say, but it's still only May. Okay, and the first week of May, so it's still a good 140 some odd games left, man. I don't know. We'll run it down, man. We'll see how it turns out. Like we said, I wish they just had some storylines besides, that's what I'm saying. Think about what we were talking about.
I'll give you a storyline.
NFL convos. Go ahead, give me one.
The storyline is there's going to be a lot of pitchers getting Tommy John surgery, bro. Like we talked about, because
they don't know what to do with them themselves.
DeGrom got scratched from the start yesterday. Your boy Kershaw couldn't even throw the ball 60 feet 6 inches yesterday.
Nope.
Like we talked about, Paxton done. Mariners had another reliever last night, Middleton, throw 4 pitches that weren't even close to the strike zone. Mm-hmm. And his fastball is usually 99 miles an hour, and it was only 93. It's scary to think I want these pitchers to go 7 innings, but it sounds like their arms aren't in shape enough to do that for, a longevity of 162 this year, as we talked about with Aaron Barcott. So there's a storyline for you that we're going to have to keep to stay on top of, because it could be a crazy season for pitching this year. I thought Rudy was going to have something there. We'll get into a lot more baseball throughout the season, since it is such a long season for sure. But
we need to have sports science on here.
I do. I want to throw a little storyline out. I was going to say something. You're right. I wanted to change the subject. I just got to, I got to say this because I think it's worth mentioning. Russell Westbrook. Right? Washington Wizards, Russell Westbrook at this moment in time. The stat line that I read a couple of days ago said that he could go 0 points, 0 rebounds, and 0 assists, and still, for the rest of the season, and still average a triple-double for the season, for season stats. Now, I mean, wow, that's unbelievable. That's unbelievable, and that shows, I mean, the team is – they are in the playoff hunt. They're definitely missing some pieces. They definitely don't have that star trio that some of these other teams that we watch are dealing with. But just right there, man, that stat. I mean, when we talk about the greatest ever, when we had our whole thing, one of the things we talked about was Oscar Robertson and how he averaged a triple-double for his entire career, and those things don't happen. And now Westbrook is doing that. I mean, the past several years, he's averaged a triple-double for the entire season every year. He gets a lot of grief, I guess, depending upon like who he's playing with, or when he has another star on the team. Is he a ball hog? Is he selfish? Whatever. But man, what he's doing right now in DC is something special.
See, we
gotta respect it.
We got all the little nuances here, all the little stuff for you all, because we'll just go off and we just collaborate and it just comes together. That's what the best part about it is. We talk about anything at any time and roll with it, and that's what you get to look forward to over the next many years of these podcasts that we're gonna get going, right, fellas?
All day, the next 1,000 episodes plus.
That's right. So hey, let's just close it out real quick. I just want to remind everybody, 100th episode. Thanks everybody for listening. Obviously, we appreciate you. Thank you very much. Shout out to the producer, Chris Donovan, for making this all happen. So we appreciate you. Thank you. Go to thisisfunner.com, scroll down to the Stix shop at the bottom there. Use the code STIX15 at checkout for 15% off. Outfit the family, get them some gear. We got some new colors, like you said. Some hot looking green, some pink, some black. We got purple. Not just the white anymore, like I got on right here.
Okay.
yeah, it's, going to be fun. We covered a lot over the last 99 episodes. We're going to cover a lot more going forward. And we look forward to, speaking with all of you, talking to you. We're going to utilize that phone line Chris has here sooner or later, get that popping so people can come on. And, follow me on Twitter at Stix015. Follow Rudy at, what was it, Rudy? Ryan Arlesco?
That's the one.
At Ryan Arlesco. Always on the show. Thanks for coming on, buddy. Appreciate you.
Hey, congratulations, man, by the way. I know I've probably done about 10. I'm not sure how many total number, 10 to 12 or so. I haven't been on a ton of them.
You've done a lot more.
But I, congratulations to you guys. I remember when Aaron Jones first told me that you were doing a podcast, I was like, oh man, I'm going to check that out. And that first time that you let us on, like we got on there and we're chatting, I was on my deck drinking some of those cervezas. Especially for football season. Like I never imagined that I'd kind of be a part of the weekly football conversation. So thanks for that. And congratulations to you guys, man. I mean, 100 episodes is pretty awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate you coming on, man, for sure.
All day. Yeah.
And you'll be on plenty more anytime you get a break from those 7 freaking jobs you have, bro. And those
Saving
7
lives.
kids, 4 kids, you got to take 3 kids, right? 3 kids you got to take care of.
Yeah, three kids, 5 jobs. It's all right though.
3 kids, 5 jobs. I get all the numbers mixed up. So
triplets in the dog pound.
Tickets.
Right.
Hey,
Right. Triplets in the dog pound. That
was an episode 2, baby. Tickets in the dog pound. That one was a good one as well. So lots of stuff coming for y'all. Appreciate y'all. And us, big homie, my man. What you got for the people?
Man, I gotta close this up with the homie hater of the week, man. RG Street gotta chill out, man. Hey, don't be mad at the boy Kirk Cousins because you got hurt.
You like that?
You like that 83 million all up front. You like that, don't you? Man, sit your ass down somewhere, man. Damn, this is funny.
That was Sports Fix with Stix. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the show. If you want to join the show, use the hashtag StixandSports.